Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. We have a fun video for you guys. I'm here with Team Kitchen Fable with Cody and Chad. They sent me a message. It's like, you guys, what are you doing up? It's like 1:15 in the morning. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're Central Time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But
Well, not Chad.
You guys were hanging out, talking in the Team Kitchen Fable Discord server about some speculation on what's inside a pack. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, that's definitely right.
And you guys thought it'd be good content to share people, and you wanted to give it to me to share my channel, so I appreciate that. And I am my janky setup. I have people working on my house tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So I was like getting set up because I have to be able to make content tomorrow. And I'm in my living room, which is great.
I'm also in my living room, but you see my nerd shelf behind me.
Well, let's hop in. I want to know your spice. Get straight to the spice for everyone.
All right. The spice, if there's any good ideas that come out of this podcast, they're all Chad's ideas. I just collected them. I just told Louis, hey, I have an idea, but they're all really Chad's ideas.
No.
The hot take is that there's going to be a 3 talent system in Tales, and there's going to be 3 heroes, and those 3 heroes are going to be able to utilize, intermix those talents based on how you draft those heroes. Okay. So there's going to be 3 heroes, 3 talents. And then the pack construction, we can break that down here in just a second.
So wait,
Chad,
before we get there, so you mean like 3 heroes? So you have, let's pretend, what do you think it is? It's going to be Ranger, we think Guardian.
Gunslinger, Bard.
No, you guys are going.
He's on the Gunslinger route. I honestly don't know. Yeah.
Ranger. No, definitely not.
I think Ranger, Guardian, and then X. I don't know what the X is yet.
So I don't think it's Wizard. A lot of people have been saying Wizard, but I think they're going to save Wizard for Volcor. I don't know.
I feel Bard though. Looking at Candlehold, Candlehold reminds me of like the Hobbit from Lord of the Rings. So if a Bard came out of that, it wouldn't surprise me. But I really don't know.
But isn't the Guardian kind of Bard?
No, he's more cleric than Bard, I would say.
But he's got like a mandolin. Doesn't Bravo have a mandolin in some pictures?
I think some people in the background might have some mandolins, but he's got the.
Yeah, I don't remember Bravo have.
I don't know.
He's got the sledge.
I always saw him as like a
he's very flamboyant looking.
Like
look at
star,
that,
right? Like he's the star. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So you're saying there's 3 different heroes, right? We know that's confirmed. But you're saying each hero is generic, and then there's talents that go alongside with it. So you're just
absolutely
gonna have a generic
ranger,
not a light ranger, or not a Volt Ranger or a Thunder Ranger or a Frost Ranger. You're just gonna have Ranger and then have other cards that are talents.
They'll be kind of like neutral. Like we coined the term like a flow class. So like a flow Ranger, a flow Guardian, flow third class, and that leaves them neutral to all the elements. Then they can pick an element or a multiple of elements even, but probably just stick with one. So if you pick the lightning element, let's say your deck is going to be limited to the lightning element plus some generics for your class, etc. Or if you pick the fire element, if it's a fire, you can pick only fire elements for that deck.
Interesting. So the like the new Ranger would be a flow Ranger, and the flow opens you up to access to these other talents. Okay. All right. So walk me through the packs. Let's walk through the pack.
So we think that the pack constructions, it's 15 cards plus your token, so 16 cards in total. We think that there's going to be inclusive of 4 generic cards, like most packs already have. And then the talent slots are going to be, you're going to get 2 of each talent. And then there's going to be a 3rd card that gets assigned to every 3rd pack. So it'll be 2-2-3 or 2-3-2 or 3-2-2. That'll make up 7 cards in total. And then you'll have your foil, of course, your rare plus, equipment, and then your token hero or token weapon, which will round out the 16.
Okay, so I'm either going to get 2 frost talents, 2 lightning talents, and 3 nature talents, or I'm going to get 3 frost talents, 2 lightning talents, and 2 nature talents, or I'm going to get 2 frost talents, 2 lightning, 3 nature.
Right.
You got it, Louis.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And
so kind of like how in WTR had the class cards where there's always one off. I think there was always like 2-2, and then one class only had like 1. I remember from WTR, they would rotate that way as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so then my hero is let's say I pull Lexi, right? That's the new hero is Lexi. I
Yes.
pull a Lexi, and Lexi can actually utilize Frost, Lightning, and Nature, or you pick one.
Pick one.
You pick one, so she can utilize any of the 3 talents, but you have to pick one as your deck design. So you could actually be going up. There could be a mirror match where it's a Frost Ranger versus a Lightning Ranger.
Okay, so help me understand then when I'm building, let's talk outside of draft. When I'm playing in Classic Constructed, can I play a Levia? Can I play a Levia Lightning? Or let's use Bravo. Let's pretend Bravo's, because we'll go Guardian. Can I add Lightning to my deck then with Guardian?
I would say no, just as you cannot add light cards to a warrior deck like a Dorinthia. A Dorinthia can't use light cards currently.
Okay, but so then you have to have, but light warriors can, right? That's what allows them to use it. So
correct.
These would be, how do you get the ability in regular constructed to utilize the Frost, Lightning, or Nature?
The flow talent or the flow hero ability.
For the new heroes.
So really it would be like Frost Flow or Lightning Flow or Nature Flow.
But the flow can be morphed into different talents. So the hero wouldn't be deemed a Frost Flow. You'd just have a Flow Ranger.
Right.
And then the Flow Ranger can use whatever talents they want to use.
You would need something else on the talent name though, right? Like you couldn't just have Frost talent if there was no Frost Ranger. You'd have to have some sort of flow connection there, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
I just feel like
on the cards themselves out of the pack.
Yeah, because otherwise, how does it work with the other heroes? How do you I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm getting too into it, but I love the idea for draft. And what's this based on?
This is based on the pack construction design of how LSS has constructed their packs before, based on the release on the website, the 3 deck hero display, and then a lot of us just going back and forth, me and Chad just talking freely. So
why not then, I guess my question is, why not have a Frost Ranger that can only use 3 cards, and a traditional draft would be, right? And a Lightning Guardian and a Nature, DM Armada's calling it, he's speculating a Nature Wizard would be like a Druid. So why would that not, what do you see in the world that's saying, no, I think that it's this instead of that?
I think that there was an interview that James White did that said that the talent system and the draft would be like a very unique experience to Tales specifically. And that would be a very interesting design dynamic to have 3 and then be able to choose essentially 9 different options for your hero.
Yeah. Also based too from the set symbol that's on the box of Tales of Aria. It's got that circle with the 3 elements kind of swirling together like a tri yin yang almost, and then there's that one pivot right in the center that could be like the flow here itself, and then choosing one of the elements to work with.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that kind of pulling up the thing.
Again,
one of the
good ideas come from Chad.
I think one of the big reasons that I would say it, let me see if I can save this. One of the reasons I would say it as you guys talk about it, let me see if this works, just pull it in. You guys won't be able to see it, but on the screen, what we see for the Blitz decks is they're all the same color, which is super interesting. Because in Monarch some were light and some were dark.
Right.
That was the first thing I saw when you saw those. There's not 3 different, and maybe that's, but I don't think it's just the mock-up. So that was definitely something that I considered, was what if they're some sort of all the same thing, and then what if in the Blitz deck you get to pick, right? So your Blitz deck can be different, and that's where they kind of specify for kitchen table play, right? That's what, so you get to pick whatever you want, and you pick all the Frost ones, or you pick all the and so it changes the way it plays. Interesting.
That's possible too, yeah. Also, with that neutral color scheme that you mentioned as well, that kind of led into the thing where we thought the heroes themselves would be neutral, but still have a talent word, and that was the flow that we chose. That they'd be neutral themselves, but they could pick and choose between the 3 elements at their will.
Right. So you're saying like with the way that the logo flows, like it's like that it kind of moves from either one. That's cool. That's interesting. That's so my biggest caveat to it, I think what the comment section will say, is how does this interact with non-Tails heroes?
I choose to take the George approach in the comment section and just not read it.
No, but I'm curious. Like, how would you guys answer? I mean, maybe that's the you know the biggest way that it's not that, right? Like that's for me the biggest question is like, what do you do then if that's the way this is? Then what do you do with all these cards? What do you do with all the frost cards? What do you do with all the lightning cards? What do you do with all the nature cards? They just don't apply, I guess. But that's kind of how the light and
that's how Monarch worked.
Yeah.
All the other characters kind of seem to get almost shafted because they can't use all these new cards except for a very few choice generics that, like Warrior got a rare, a common, a majestic, maybe if they were lucky. That also kind of leads into my next thinking. If we did get a Crucible of War 2 set after Tales, I also had the idea that they could reprint, kind of like they do in Magic the Gathering with Planeswalkers. They'll reprint Nissa into the ground, but they'll give her a different flavor word. Nissa Shadowed Bow, Nissa the one who shakes the world, etc. So they could reprint the old heroes, such as Dorinthia, etc., and then give them a talent and give them a new flavor name. Dorinthia the Light Charged, or something to that effect. And now she's a Light Warrior. Or Azalea from the Shadows. Now she's a Shadow Ranger. Kind of keeping on flavor with her mercenary ties to the Undercity that she's from. And moving all, and Katsu could be like a wind one, wind element, Tempest Ninja. Something.
That's cool. That's
maybe
cool.
even change their hero effects, give them a different effect, so they might lose the ability, like Dorinthia's regular ability. Maybe she has a new ability now. She can still use her specialization cards that we all know and love, or hate, depending on what side of the table you're on. But it's still Dorinthia. She can still use specialization cards, but now she has access to these new talent cards that she never had access to before.
It's interesting how it works with the lore of Aria too, where like Aria, like all these locations that we've seen are technically in Aria, and like the flow. Like I was watching somebody else's video that was talking about how it looks like it's snowing there, but the people aren't wearing things that, like, you know, Lexi's not wearing like a coat, like she's not cold. And the idea that I think there's in the lore book, it says like the flow protects, right? So like there isn't the hot and the cold, right? Like the flow protects them and that kind of thing. And the idea that like, could they just go from realm to realm with, you know, these different names, right? We have, so like you kind of get the idea that that Lexi would be from Volthaven because she has a lightning in that one picture, but maybe Lexi can just go from Candlehold to Lake Frigid to Thunderstep to Mount Heroic and utilize the flow from the different landscapes around. That's pretty freaking cool. Also,
too, the young image of Lexi, she doesn't have that lightning element to her that she has in the adult. Her hair is also a different color. She's got white hair when she's young, so it kind of leads me to believe that she doesn't have, or she's tuned to a different element. She looks very ice backgrounded, like a frost background in the young hero, but then as the adult one, she looks like she's more lightning talented towards. So it kind of also lends into the aspect of choosing a talent or choosing an element and going with it.
I think you guys are onto something. That's
You're starting to believe. You're starting to believe, Louis.
So, I like it. I like the draft element of it. Speculate a little bit for me. What could you see? Like, let's pull up your things again. What could you see Frost being? Like, what could the effect be? Let me add. I already see one. You could have something that like opponents only allowed to play 3 cards next turn, right? Or right, like you have the kind of
blow
like
effect,
the frost barrier, big frost wall or something.
Yeah, what is
stops your movement?
What is that effect in Magic the Gathering? Where they tap and they can't untap? Is that freeze?
Oh man, I should know this. I really should know this.
Yeah,
I haven't played Magic in a while, but I don't
Magic in so long. But you know, like that kind of effect, right? Where you can't utilize some more like lockdown, some really like, you know, that kind of thing.
Ooh, lockdown like one of their equipments. Yeah, you could like lock down an equipment, so you couldn't use an equipment. Like you could deactivate an equipment where they couldn't block with it, or they couldn't activate the ability. Like if you deactivated tectonic plating, like they couldn't create a search token.
Yeah, that'd
be cool.
What else? What do you see for like frost, lightning, nature?
Fire I see is like the aggressive element. Maybe it would deal with giving
Do you think
power
we're gonna see
spikes.
fire?
I don't know if
Nah.
it's gonna be fire. I really don't know.
There's not gonna be fire. You would see
But
some
there's a
fire
red
in
one
the
or
artwork.
electric. Yeah, I would possibly see some by now. But it does look like it's going to be an electric theme and a frost theme, and then question mark for the third one. Really don't know. Nature, Earth, something like
It's
that.
definitely growth, like nature.
Yeah.
And like I think that one's just gonna be card draw. I mean, we already kind of heard. I think Rudy kind of speculated that it's like draw 3 cards. I think that one's just gonna be like you're just gonna be flying through your deck. But you're
Kind of like how green gives you mana acceleration to
your
magic.
deck's gonna be weak as hell. Like you're just gonna be flying through your deck, but like pinging one it's gonna be a bunch of 1 attack cards, right? You're gonna have a bunch of 1 attack cards and 1 block cards, but you're gonna be able to utilize your graveyard or something like that, where like you don't deck out, or the second, I don't know. There's gonna be some sort of just like constant cycling, right? Like cycle life, dirt to reuse. Like there's something there, right? That's just gonna be kind of cycling through.
Yeah,
your
some
deck.
life gain wouldn't be bad either. There's not a
Life
whole
gain.
lot of life gain in Flesh and Blood right now, outside of a few very choice cards.
Yeah,
So something that uses that to
I think
not be broken
the,
about it, but a couple more cards.
could be a
the
cleric
lightning
then.
the lightning effect can also be like you could build up a charge of some sort by doing, by attacking. If 2 attacks hit or 3 attacks hit, you've built up a charge and you release this charge
Yeah.
into like some sort of kind of like a separated arcane damage kind of deal, but it would just be more physical damage.
That's cool. I like it, guys. Good work. This is cool. So then, what do you think for equipment? So we have 3 heroes, 6 equipment. So then, you would have 3. That makes sense then, right? You would have 3 class-specific equipments that are generic. So you could have a new guardian equipment, a new ranger equipment, and a new whatever equipment. And then you could have the 3 elemental equipments.
That would make sense, and each hero could maybe swap between those elemental ones.
The flow, right?
The flow ones.
3
Yeah, that would
flow
work.
equipments.
Yep, that fits the 6 that they've put in the set.
Yeah.
And each hero could pick and choose the flow, but they're also limited to their class specific.
Right.
Maybe that would be the ambulance that they've kind of mentioned towards.
Yeah, and then you're even if you take that down to the common level, right? You could have, if you had 50, I think there's 15. People will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 15 monarch cold foil commons. So you could have 5 of each for each flow, or you could have 4 of each for each flow, and then 3 generic to the heroes. That's probably it, right?
That could work. Yeah, there's a lot you
Or
could do with that.
3, I guess it could be 3 of each to each. So you could have 3 of each element. That's 9 plus 3 generics. That's 12 plus 3 for each. That's probably the best one. That way you throw in some generic cold foil commons. But that's cool. That's super cool, guys. Good work.
See,
That's fun.
We just pulled you
And
in.
it's all
Louis.
speculation. We could be
Gone.
completely
Oh, man.
wrong in 2 months' time, and so be it.
My money's on this. All my money for my betting.
But if it turns out to be right, you heard it here.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but all the content creators have a bet on whoever can get the most things right. I'm putting all this on that, and that's not true. We don't actually have that. I just made that up. But
Perfect.
We like to put our reputation on it, and my reputation's on you guys because you're Team Kitchen Fable.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate it.
And also PvE, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think we're getting PV in this set now. I think I've been saying to see this set or in the next one. I do think we do see like a Crucible type attitude. I think that auxiliary set will be where it is.
I honestly think the next set after Tails is going to be something to that effect to support 2 sets we have now, Monarch and Tails.
Yeah, and so like it. So I think I said this in a video yesterday. Like I think you have blocks, right? You have like the 3 gems. You have the shard, this is not rocket science, but you have the heart, the eye, and the shard. And so now we're going to see the landmarks. We're going to see the library. We're going to see something, and we're going to see then the third one. And so that third set will wrap up the first 2. So I think that's what it's going to be.
I'm going to guess the Forge of Eisenloft for the Fable.
Forge of Eisenloft.
The Forge of Eisenloft.
Oh, hot take for the Fable, the Forge of Eisenloft. All
Just
right.
pulling it right out of my butt. The Forge of Eisenloft.
I like it. Cody, any Fable? No?
I'm leaning all on Chad. He has the good ideas here.
I like that. Well, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing with the community. Thanks for trying so hard on Team Kitchen Fable and for testing. Cody, thanks for your deck tech the other day. That was pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. And remember to be kind to people around you. And viewers, remember to be kind to people around you. And we'll see you guys again next video.
Thanks for having us.
Later.